everyone, peace of Christ to all. In this video we will talk about chapter 17 verse number 88. Now before we start, there's many Muslims, they get upset from us for what we do. Honestly, I don't care who get upset or not. We are in here to say the truth, and you like it, you don't, none of our business. But for sure, it's not my target to make people upset or angry. But if the truth will make people angry, well, go for it. Have fun. In here, what we will talk about is extremely important, and I want everybody please to copy this video and send it everywhere you want, everywhere you can. It's extremely important. Chapter 17 verse number 88, Allah is challenging the genie and the mankind together to produce Quran or a verse like the Quran. Remember, the Quran never been a book at that time. It was just verses here, verses there. Never was. Quran is any verse of the Quran is Quran. Any word in the Quran is a Quran. So, and especially we are talking about sentences, because supposedly Allah never give one word, right? At least a verse, that will make it a Quran. And actually, many places in the Quran, you will see that Quran came as a verse, just a verse. And we will show you that later. Now, the challenge of Allah is simple, very clear, that you, genie, and mankind, even if you work together, you cannot produce Quran like this Quran, which means not even one verse. So the challenge is clear. And what this verse means, that if this book is not from God, well, prove that it's not from God by producing something like it. Can you? Let us see if the human being really can do such a thing. We knew, many of you heard about the satanic verses, and I spoke about it. But just to make the video more accurate, I'm going to mention it, because what I want to talk about is really different, but just to make the point complete. In chapter of 22, verse number 52, the Quran saying that Shaitan cast in the recitation of Muhammad, and Allah will abrogate what Shaitan he cast in Muhammad's mouth in the Quran. So he will abrogate the Quran of Shaitan, which is in the Quran of Allah, which means Shaitan, he was able to make Quran, and to the point the Quran was so good, to the point Muhammad himself, he recited that Quran, and Muhammad did not notice. This is how good was the Quran of Mr. Satan. Now Mr. Allah, he decided to take what Shaitan he cast there, which means nobody even noticed from all the Muslims, including the Prophet, that this is even from Shaitan, except Allah he noticed that. Why? Because simply he is not the one who said that. Which means this Quran, the Quran of Shaitan, was equal to the Quran of Allah, to the point that this Quran, the Quran of Muhammad, was accepted by Muhammad, approved by Muhammad, and Muhammad himself could not recognize it. Now what does that mean exactly? Let me explain to you more. If Muhammad he took this satanic Quran and mention it and recite it, it means this Satan Quran is so good. It's so good to the point Muhammad himself he could not recognize. What does that mean exactly? Remember, Allah is challenging the human to make Quran like this, which means at the same time the human is the one who is going to see if this is really equal to this or not. Because when you challenge me to make like this, it means we have to use judges from the human too, because this is our language, and you are challenging us, so we are part of it, and we have to be part of the judgment to see if this is really true. Now let us choose Muhammad to be a judge. You know what I mean? Like Allah, he challenged me, let us say I am a kafir. He challenged me as a kafir to make Quran like this. He challenged the Shaitan to make Quran like this. Now, can Muslims refuse Muhammad to be a judge? Can they say Muhammad cannot be the judge? They cannot. Here we go. Muhammad the judge is accepting this Quran, reciting this Quran, for it was so good. But in the same time, this was the Quran of Mr. Satan. You got my point? So the judge of the challenge, we cannot find better judge for this challenge more than Muhammad, right? Between us and Allah. Muhammad himself accepts the Quran of Shaitan, for it was so good and he himself could not notice. The point is, that Shaitan, he did break the challenge of Allah, showed that Allah cannot be God because he did make Quran. But the fact, this is all is a lie. Shaitan, he did not do anything. It was Muhammad trying to be hypocrite for the Muslims, for the kuffar. This is the whole story. But we will go with the story in the Quran. This story alone is enough to prove that Allah is a big fat liar, and Muhammad, either he was a bad judge, which means we cannot trust his judgment no more, because how we trust him now anymore after this false judgment for the false Quran? If Muhammad can be trusted for the words of God, how Muhammad failed to protect the word of God and accepted the word of Satan as Quran, and he said that to us, claiming that this is from God when it's from Satan. So Muhammad, number one, he cannot be trusted. Muhammad, number two, he is not a good judge. Muhammad, number three, cannot be the prophet of God, because a prophet of God should not speak for different God. And here we go. Muhammad is prophesying, speaking for Shaitan, not for God no more. And this is from the Quran. Now we will go to the second point, which is extremely important, because now we prove that genie, which is Shaitan, because Shaitan is the genie for Muslims, not like in the Bible he was an angel. He now produced Quran, and we prove that. Now let us go. Did the human produce Quran? Let me show you the proof. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, book number 8, hadith number 395. In here, I want people to listen carefully. This is Umar al-Khattab saying that my God, he agreed with me in three things. I said, O Allah, Apostle, I wish we took the stations of Abraham as our praying place for the same of some of our prayer. So came the divine inspiration, and take you people the station of Abraham as a place for your prayer, some of your prayer, etc. So Allah, he took the words of Umar and he made it Quran. Okay, this is the first thing. The second verse, and as regard the verse of the veering of a woman, I said, O Allah, Apostle, I wish you order your wives to cover themselves from the men, because good ones and bad ones talk to them. So the verse of the veering of women was revealed. Wonderful. So here we go. Two verses Allah is taking from Umar. 3. Once the wives of the Prophet made a united front against the Prophet. Let me highlight this one, so nobody will misunderstand. Once the wives of the Prophet made a united front against the Prophet, I said to them, it may be he, the Prophet, divorce you all, that his Lord will give him instead of you wives better than you. So the verse, listen carefully guys, it's not me who's saying that. It's not me who's saying that. So this verse, the same as I had said was revealed. Wow. Are we getting the point? The same as I had said was revealed. So Allah is copying Quran from Umar. Here we go. Umar is making Quran. Umar is making Quran. Umar is a human, right? Is making Quran before even the Quran was exist. And not only that, Allah himself, he is copying Umar, which means Umar have copyright over this. I can sue Allah now if I am Umar saying, hey, this is my words. This is not your words. You put it in your book, you claim it's yours. It's not. So here we go again. The human being, Umar, is making Quran better than Allah Quran. Because if Allah can produce better than Umar, why he is taking from Umar? If Allah can make better than this, why Allah is copying the words of Umar? Can't Allah make something better? Why he is taking it exactly the same as the Muslim says, not me. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. So it's very clear that Allah failed again, and Allah is not God. Simply Muhammad, this Umar, he says something, Muhammad liked the idea, he adopted, he make it Quran. Allah is ready always for him, he is in the kitchen, he is the pizza boy. Anything he like, right away he say, Allah said. Allah said, so nobody can argue with him. I think the point is clear. I hope you like it and you understand. Christ is Lord. and Umar is the creator of the Quran from their books. See you later. Bye-bye.